And welcome back to the Nutter Center and a live show tonight. Clark's with us here. Thanks to the folks at Wright Credit Union. I'm Larry Hansgen from Miami Valley's Morning News, and we've gone through a myriad of questions, Clark, and I think we just only scraped the surface when it comes to the things that are really burning pocketbook issues for people on a daily basis. These are things that, while we were in the break, you were talking about hybrids and different options people have as far as cars coming out. And we had a question from Diane about, she's got a 2000 Toyota 4Runner, and she's wanting to know, should she buy it, or should she sell it and buy a more economical car? At what point in time do you look at the existing vehicle you have, or the vehicle you're contemplating buying and looking at its sticker price versus fuel costs? What's the equation like there?
Well, there is no one automatic right answer, but let me start with what you should not do. This situation's different. If you had a 3 or 4 year old car, you still have a note on it, it's a giant SUV that's burning up fuel, you don't dump it just because of the cost of fuel, because the depreciation, the fact you still have a loan on it, is really going to hurt you. A car that is 9 model years old now, because the 2009s are starting to come out, it's a question of how long you typically keep a car. If you're pretty much near the end of the cycle of when you like to own a vehicle, and you go from that SUV to a very fuel efficient vehicle, you're going to do great with that. But let's say this vehicle is one that you need in terms of size.
Toyota 4Runner, so...
what's her name?
This is Diane.
Diane, are you here? Diane, you're here. All right, do you need that big vehicle to carry stuff? It's just, you bought it as a lifestyle kind of thing? All right, so since she doesn't need that vehicle to haul junk, I think it's fine for you to buy something new and fuel efficient. I mean, you've had this car a long time. You could keep it another year or two. But then the next question I have for you, and this is why I'm so glad you're here, how many miles do you drive a year? 5,000 a year, 10,000? If you only drive 5,000 miles a year, don't worry about it. Drive this thing until the wheels fall off. Because at 5,000 miles a year, the fact that you're getting 12 miles per gallon doesn't matter. Because you're just not spending, you're buying 500, and how many gallons a year? 560 gallons a year? Whatever that is. It's not enough gallons that you really need to worry about ditching this and getting something else.
Okay, thanks, Diane. Another question we had from folks. My husband and I have recently married and have just graduated from grad school. What would be your advice regarding setting financial goals for buying a house and paying off student loans? And it's unsigned, so I'm assuming they're here tonight. They submitted this as they came in.
Special deal on student loans. Any federally subsidized student loans you have, July 1st, there's going to be a great opportunity to fix the rates on those at what looks like it's going to be around 4%. Anybody with student loans needs to pay close attention to the opportunity after July 1. It's because of a new law passed by Congress, and the benefits don't take effect till July 1. And that's number one with the student loans, is to at least get the rate down. Student loans that have the extra low rate around 4% or so, take the full 30 years to pay those off. Do not rush to pay them off. They become a very low priority. For the house, you want to save a minimum of 5% down payment. That should be a primary goal because of what's happened with the mortgage lending environment. The more cash you have, the better a loan deal you're going to get. 5% should be the minimum target. So what you do is you set kind of a feel for what kind of price you want to buy, whatever price home. You figure out how much down payment that's going to be, when you want to buy that house, and then that tells you how much money you have to save every month, how many brown bags you got to take to lunch, and build up the savings that you're going to need to pay that down payment to buy a home. And if you have that specific time deadline, like that goal line, and you know you got to get to that 5%, you'll be amazed how disciplined you'll be about saving that money.